Hello and welcome back to this mini training series, Working Spiritedly with Change. I'm Martha Angelini, spiritual guide and teacher. And this is actually the third video in the series. So if you have missed the first two, I have put a link to them below. So when you get a chance, you can check them out. So from the first two videos, we now have a compassionate space that we have created so that we can let go of some of the resistance that we're feeling towards the changes that are going on around us. So now we can use that space to lean in so we can do our deeper spiritual work. What does leaning in mean? Well, to me, it means that we are allowing how we are experiencing the changes that are going on around us, but from our human perspective, that we can use it to listen to what our experiences are telling us from a mental emotional perspective, so that we can understand what specifically our fears are around the changes that are happening. Because as I discussed in the other video, generally speaking, we have an idea about what fears are coming up for us. But we don't actually experience fears in a general way. We actually experience fears in a very specific way that's unique to each of us. So to give you an example, a number of years ago, I and my other half were selling the house that he owned, but we both lived in. And that experience threw me for a complete loop. Now, it is generally understood that the process of buying and selling a house is extremely stressful. The thing is a few years before that, I had actually bought a home in another country. And while the experience was challenging, it wasn't panic-inducing for me. So for me, it wasn't a general experience of buying or selling a home. There was something much more specific, because I was experiencing a full-blown hyperventilating panic around it. So if I want to understand what specifically about this was bothering me, I had to ask that question, which I did, and the answers I got were, so the powers that be, the people who were in charge of us making sure the process went through, basically told us what to do. I felt I was being dictated to about what I can do and what I couldn't do in my own home. Also, the rules seemed to keep changing depending upon who I was talking to at the time. So, the rules and regulations, what you have to have done by what time. But it changed all the time, and I couldn't stay on top of it. And what was really problematic about that is I still felt I was accountable for getting all of that done, despite the fact that the powers that be were changing the rules on me as I was going through it. So what you can do is you can look at the particular change that is going on in your life, and you can ask yourself, what really is bothering you about it, and why is it bothering me? So a little tip for you is if you can actually do it as a story. So if you want to tell it as a story, then you can go through afterwards and you can pick out the specifics that are bothering you about it. So thanks so much for listening. I hope it was helpful for you. And if you have any comments or feedback or any questions, I'd love to hear it. So if you could put that in below, that would be great. So thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.